Hello, everyone. This is Chala Dincoy, CEO and founder of the Repositioning Expert. Welcome to another edition of my podcast, Polish My Pitch, the crazy 5-minute podcast where we have a guest who does their elevator pitch within 30 seconds to a minute, and we go ahead and polish it right here, right now. So welcome, Lynn. Tell us all about who you are and what you do in the 30 seconds or to a minute.
Okay. No pressure. Okay. I help businesses rapidly shift sales chaos into a precision profit machine. I'm Lynn Whitbeck with Future Forward Sales.
Right. Ooh, I can tell you really worked on this, Lynn.
Yeah, I told you before we start recording. I have been learning from the master, listening to some of your shows. And of course, I've been in professional sales my whole life, but we can always learn new things. That's what's so incredible. Someone else is a step ahead or 2 steps ahead. You're like 20 steps ahead in your niche, and it's just like, I can absolutely grow and learn from this experience. So I'm excited to hear what you have to say.
Very sweet. Okay. So do I have your permission to polish?
Absolutely.
Okay. So I heard you say that, and say the phrase again, radically shift your sales chaos. What was the first word that you used?
I used rapidly shift sales chaos.
Okay. Rapidly shift sales chaos and turn it into profitability, right?
Yeah, into a precision profit machine. So I was using shift, precision, and machine, all sort of car lingo.
Yeah, that's great. Okay, so talk to me about, if you could dream, what is one industry that you'd love to double your business in?
Manufacturing. I mean, I work with a lot of manufacturing. That is sort of my world that I'm very familiar with, from, the operations side through the actual sales B2B, where you're selling either, a finished product or, it can be smaller products, but they're on a Kanban system or some kind of continuous relationship, human relationship that you have with your clients.
So what kind of manufacturing? Can you be more specific? Is it auto, food?
Yeah, so it's primarily more, heavy machinery, equipment. Once again, it can be parts. It can definitely be, bigger types of, people who support other industries like aviation or technology. So, but they're manufacturing, core components into, or an actual finished product, but that's used in a B2B environment. Okay.
So, is there a name for that industry? Is it just called just equipment?
Yeah, I mean, there's different niches within that. So you could say that it's like heavy machinery. I mean, that would be one. I mean, I'm real familiar with that. I have clients in that space already. And one of the things that really works is that they get how important it is, from an operational perspective, how things need to have really good flow and processes. And that they're always looking to, figure out, well, how can this work better? How can we make this more effective or more efficient? And what's new that we need to be considering?
Okay, so name the most expensive and common type of sales chaos that heavy machine manufacturers run into that you help with.
It's definitely that point of shifting a lead or moving a lead into a connection. So they may have a lot of different leads coming in, but it's making that human to human connection and also making sure that that lead is truly qualified for their, for their resources that they're going to put into it.
So the number one problem, is it qualifying the lead, or that these manufacturing heavy machinery companies have, or is it that the leads never convert into a sale or rarely convert into a sale?
I would say that, yeah, the number one thing is they're converting very few of the leads that come in into closed sales.
Okay. Now, can you, for the moment, make up a statistic, but you can look this up later. What can we say? How many of them, would you say 80% of heavy machine manufacturers, sales reps never close a lead?
Yeah. So, I mean, I think there's also another way to look at it. They tend to be really focused on a couple of really big clients, so that also makes them more vulnerable when there are market shifts. Because if they're really vulnerable, when you have too many eggs in one basket type of thing. So, and then in this space, there are a lot of smaller businesses that they could be selling their equipment into. But they need to have it really optimized and streamlined so that they can close the sales rapidly, but building out their portfolio, but where they still are able to provide their attention to those big clients, but they have a much bigger pond so that when there's a swell, they're better able to weather the storm. Does that make sense?
So let me understand, the number one sales chaos type is what, that they're not able to close the larger clients, or that?
No, it's definitely the smaller or medium-sized customers are just falling through the cracks.
Okay.
And so they're not capturing that market. So, which would be a significant boost to their overall business. And it would also provide, from a business perspective, an owner's perspective, management, better stability when you have a bigger pond.
Okay. So 80%. So we could say that, you can look this up later, but we'll say whatever, 75, 80% of small to mid-sized leads are never convert, which leaves on average $5 million a year on the table for heavy machinery equipment, heavy machinery manufacturer. So did you know that 80% of small to mid-sized leads are never closed, and which leaves around whatever amount on the table for heavy machinery manufacturers? What we do is, and now what do you do to help that? We develop systems, processes, and training to get you to convert, to get them to convert everyone, or to capture at least half of those.
Yeah, I mean, obviously you want to have a much higher conversion rate. It's not the number of leads, it's taking the leads that you have and converting those leads. And there's a number of things that you want to do. So on the front end, you want to make sure that you are putting things in place so that you're attracting the right leads and you're qualifying those leads, right? That's part of the chaos. The second thing is that really understanding the client why. And so a really large manufacturer or large distributor or something else, their needs are going to be different than a smaller or mid-sized company.
Yeah. But you don't have to use your elevator pitch to educate, Lynn. Yeah. I'm happy. Remember, it has to be quick, right? The shorter time it takes to tell people what you do, the more money you make. So I'm happy with what we've done. So there you go. I mean, you tell them what the problem is, who you help, and how you help, which is, you give them systems and training and processes to be able to close the medium and small sales.
Yep.
And that's it. You've been polished.
Okay.
What do you think about that? Does that work?
Absolutely. And I really appreciate it. That was I'm so excited to be able to come on the show and, like I said, learn from the master.
Thank you so much for being here, Lynn. How can people reach you?
Oh, they can find me on LinkedIn, Lynn Whitbeck, pretty simple search, or at futureforwardsales.com.
Wonderful. Thank you for being here again.